Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we're going to spend basically, I don't know if it's going to be the entire episode, I don't know how long it's going to be in all honesty, but we're going to spend a while working on our air defense here. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to net us some manpower. And how are we going to do that? Well, the simple solution is we've got all of these jet fighters over here. We're just going to get rid of these jet fighter wings. So we will just do something like this. And look at that, 86,000 manpower, just like that. So, how much do we think that we need to make this happen for each of these locations? I feel like, well, we know that the reduction from the anti-air guns is extreme, right? So if we look at the Caribbean, we can see that we only apparently have 5 anti-air guns over here. But in some locations, we're going to have a lot more. We have 2 here, apparently. 23 over here. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. 26, 45, yeah. So we can see that we have some levels of anti-air guns. And I just want to kind of set up a garrison defense force here. So let's go and find ourselves some Fighter 3s. And I think for the garrison force, on a per air zone level, I'm just going to have it be like 100. And that's it. I really wish there was a search box here. This is going to get very tedious very quickly. I am now realizing that. That's not great. Seriously, where are the fighters at? I really wish there was a search box here. Here's jet fighters. Did I already pass the fighter 3s? I don't want heavy fighter 3s. I just want fighter 3s for this. We already determined that last episode. May have. That's all close air support there. Bombers. I just want to know approximately where in the area it is. That will help us a lot. Strategic bombers, rocket interceptors, inner war fighters. Okay, here we go. So fighter 3 Mark IIs. We'll call those good enough. Okay, so we'll move one of those over here, and that will in fact be 100. And this will then be on air superiority in the Caribbean Sea. It's just on defensive. So if we look at this, you can also see that we barely lost any manpower here. But we can't unpause or else it's all going to go into the military, and we're not going to be able to work on this for the time being. But I wanted to hop into our production here and just check. These are actually Fighter 3 Mark 1s, but I think that's okay. Let's go ahead and bump this up to 20, like that. Because I have a feeling we're going to need some. Okay. So, next up. Let's see. We know that we have some... Oh, this is naval mode now. We know that we have some airplanes that we can put in over here. So we're just going to grab ourselves our Fighter 3s. These are Fighter 3 Mark 2s and Mark 38s, and there's all sorts of these. But I think we're just going to do straight up Fighter 3s. And we'll make this be 100. And they will be, of course, set to air superiority over Central America. And we're just going to slowly work our way through these various regions. So over here, or do we want to base them like up here? Let's base them up here, actually. So Fighter 3s are... Oh, I went right there. There we go. And then we're going to do that. And only 100 of them. Excellent. And we're going to air superiority those. I want to select just this. Air superiority that over here. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to double check that. So there's a northern South America done. The northern Andes appears to be handled, but that's fine. We're going to add ourselves in an additional air wing down here, and we're going to go for Fighter 3s. Excellent. And they're going to air superiority over here, and there will be 100 of them. Okay, so that's just kind of the general number that we're going to do. And you can see here, we are eating up our manpower, but it's not very much manpower, in all honesty, that is going to be devoted to this. And these are not going to be tremendously huge for us in doing this, but they should hopefully keep some of the bombers off. That's the idea. So, yeah, we're going to engage enemy fighters and secondarily bombers and other planes. So next up over here, let's put in some fighter 3s. And they are, of course, going to be 100 of them. Air superiority over here. And if we need to bump these numbers up, we can do so later on. But for now, this is all I want to do. Okay, so I want to be fairly centrally located, perhaps here. And then fighter 3s. This may be a notably boring episode. We'll see. We'll bump that up to 100 and air superiority over Brazil. Okay, so that is all of those, and now all we need is this over here. There's also the Argentine coast over here, but this is technically part of South America. Now, we're not putting up defenses in the coasts over here, just over the actual states. I'm a little bit concerned about range here in South America. Let's see what the Fighter 3 range looks like over here. Yeah, we'll see if we need to add more down here. I'll just let that go for now, and there we go. Get them in there. Okay, so there's that all done. All of our holdings over here. This is definitely going to be tedious. Here in South Africa, we are going to have, like, this be our garrison base, I guess. And we'll do fighter 3s. At least we can jump down here, and it's not too bad. We'll do 100 of those and place them just over here. Okay. Same thing for Southeast Africa. We'll base those out of... Is this airbase ours? I don't think so. We'll just base them out of here. It'll be fine, I think. And we'll do fighter 3s. And we're just going to do 100 of them and set them to air superiority over here. They're not going to have full coverage, but they should at least help. Okay. Next up, over here. And those are naval bombers, fighter 2s. There we go. Okay, we'll have 100 of those, and they will be on air superiority over here. And we might not even have enough fighter 3s to max all of this out. That's very, very possible. Let's hop into factions map mode and take a look at what else we've got over here. Okay. Just checking. Do we have an air base over here? We do not. We do have one in Yemen. This is all in the Arabia zone, though, and so we're going to place them here. Okay, fighter 3s. 100 of them. And they will air superiority over here. Now, this isn't going to help our fuel, and fuel is definitely something that we should probably be worried about. We are exporting some, but, you know, Nueva Gran Colombia would actually be a pretty solid... Really? For one civilian factory. I like it. Peru would be reasonably solid as well. We'll grab that too. Hopefully that'll give us enough fuel. We'll see. So there's all that. Do we actually want something over here? Ooh. These guys must be assigned to one of these armies? No, they shouldn't be. Those armies aren't here. I think these guys can be gotten rid of for excess manpower. Something like that. Well, that's a good chunk of manpower. And then we'll just toss in our standard air wing here. There we go. And we'll put in 100 of those, and they will be in... There we go. Air superiority mode over Asia Minor. Okay. So obviously we're going to need some over here, over here, over here. There's a bunch of regions that we're going to need these in. Do these rocket wings have manpower? don't see any in there. And we can't unreinforce them. Okay, good to know. These guys, I'm pretty sure, are assigned to one of these armies. No, they're actually not. Okay. Let's get rid of these for now. And we'll probably have more of them later on, but we're just keeping an eye on that. Now, this one almost certainly is assigned to one of our armies, right? Jet Fighter 2 Mark 1s. It could be these that they're assigned to. Actually, they're not. They're just kind of chilling here. Fascinating. Well, let's disband them. Okay. I'm currently checking for these guys. Yeah, they're assigned here. Okay, that's fine. What about this? I think they're probably one of these as well, is my guess. Yeah, they are. Okay, so I think we'll just leave those the way they are. These should all be assigned to the armies, and we want that. We absolutely do want that. So, we need to go through here and assign our various other air wings. So we'll assign one in over here, because we have to get at least some measure of air protection. There's no doubt about that. That is very, very important to us. So we will get one up over here. Air superiority in Northwest Africa. Okay. Next up, we'll get one over here. And that will be these guys, I guess. 100. Air superiority in North Africa. Okay, is this considered... That's considered part of the Italy. Part of the Italy air zone. Okay. So I think we'll assign our garrison wing, say, here. And we may need to expand coverage later. That's fine if so. But we'll just go down to our fighter 3s. Have 100 of them. And they will air superiority in Italy. Okay. So that's all of this under control. Now we need one in southern Iberia. So that will be, of course, once again, fighter 3s. That's fighter 2s, fighter 3s. There we go. And they will be 100 strength, air superiority in southern Iberia. Okay. Next up, Northwestern Iberia. We'll use this airbase, I think. And fighter 3s. 100 and air superiority here. Okay. And then this one over here. We're actually getting pretty close here. Well, I say that, but we're maybe around halfway. So these fighter 3s should, of course, get 100 air superiority in northeastern Iberia. Okay. So, we're making progress. We've got basically all of Italy to go. That's fine. We have gained ourselves about 200,000 manpower by doing this, so that's not terrible. But we are going to lose a bunch of that yet. So we'll put ourselves a garrison force of fighters over here. Because we're getting bombed to death right now. And we need to do something about that. The question is, how effective will this be? And the answer, I'm guessing, is not tremendously. But it'll do something. And I want to see exactly what it'll do. So, next up, how much territory do we actually hold over here? A decent chunk. Okay, so in Western France, we will grab a garrison unit over here. 100 fighters, air superioritying over Western France. Okay. And, you know, we could probably have each of these do several different areas, because look at the range on these. But in reality, I kind of want them to be restricted to their state, because we're going to have one in every single state. I don't know. Maybe we should assign them to several states. Can we do that? No, you can only assign them to one at a time, I think. Yeah, you can only assign them to one at a time. So this will be fine. So Northern France is the next one to do. We'll place it here. And fighter 3s. 100 of those, and air superiority in Northern France. Excellent. Okay, up here next. And fighter 3s. 100 of those, air superiority. Okay. We'll do Western Germany next. So we'll put in some fighter 3s. 100 of those. We'll get there eventually. And air superiority over Western Germany. Okay. Next up, over here, I'm going to put in some fighter 3s. You guessed it. I can find them in the list. Here we go. And that's going to be 100. And they will, of course, air superiority over the Alpine region. Okay. So that's all of this over here. We don't have Northwest Germany here. I'd kind of like to have it be here, I think. So we'll do some jet fighter 3s. If I can remember where they are. They're down here. Okay. Put in 100 of those. Air superiority over Northwest Germany. Okay, so there's that handled. Next up is Eastern Germany. Easy enough. Some fighter 3s over here. And 100 of those. Air superiority over Eastern Germany. Next would be Czechoslovakia. Airbase is, I think we'll use this airbase. It's a little bit behind the lines and also a little bit full, but I believe that our client states and other members of our alliance will yield for us. So I think that's okay. We'll get those into Czechoslovakia. Next up, the Western Balkans. We'll do it from Slovenia here. And that will, of course, be jet fighter 3s. Or not jet fighter 3s, fighter 3s. 100 of those, air superiority over the Western Balkans. Next up would be the Northern Balkans. Now, we technically don't have an airbase in that state, but that's okay, because we can simply do from here. Fighter 3s, and 100 of those, air superiority over the Northern Balkans. Okay, so Czechoslovakia we've already got. Western Poland is the next goal here. We'll do that from here. Fighter 3s. 100 of those. Air superiority over Western Poland. Okay. This is slightly problematic. I hadn't realized that they had punched through to the sea over here. We should probably attempt to withdraw from here and consolidate this together. Remove that order, and these guys should, in theory, make their way out of there. We can just order them to head over this direction. Okay, there we go. We'll just shorten that line a little bit. Okay, back to the air war here. We are going to put in a wing up here. Fighter 3s. 100 of those. Air superiority over southern Sweden. Next up, in southern Norway. Same thing here. Fighter 3s. 100 of those. Air superiority. Southern Norway. Next up, northern Sweden. That'll be fighter 3s. 100 of those. Air superiority over northern Sweden. Okay, and then northern Norway. Fighter 3s. 100. This is just our standard wing. We need to get this all set up. Air superiority over northern Norway. And then northern Scandinavia. We clearly need some air defenses everywhere. And so that is exactly what we're doing. Air superiority over that. Okay, so Finland is, in theory, next. So we will put in an air wing here. Fighter 3s. 100 of those. And they will, of course, be an air superiority over Finland. And then there is Northern Front over here. Now, we don't have any air bases in that. We should be able to operate out of this air base just fine for that, though. So we'll do exactly that. We'll grab ourselves some Fighter 3s. Air superiority over Northern Front. And put in 100 of those. Okay. We're yielding the Baltic states for now. And then Arctic Russia over here. What is actually our line here? Are we... Oh, we're encircled here. This is, we're going to lose this. That's okay. As far as this over here goes, out in northern Siberia, there's only so much that we can actually do here. And yeah, you can see we've taken some hits over here. We're expecting that. We'll just toss in over here some Fighter 3s. 100 of those. Air superioritying here. That's in theory covering all this. There's no way they have the range for that, but that's okay. Okay, Russian Federation has some territory over here. We'll just toss in a wing over here. Sure, I guess that'll be fine. And we'll air superiority in Russian Far East. Excellent. And then apparently there's 2,000 out of 0 planes in this airbase. What? Is this airbase damaged or something? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so that airbase is damaged. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and add an air wing here, but I have no actual faith in this being a thing. We'll bump that up to 100 and air superiority in Korea. Now, what about this down here? Well, I mean, I kind of don't care. I guess we can put one in over here. That'll be fine. Fighter 3s. Oops, there we go. Fighter 3s, 100, and air superiority. Where did that go? I want it to be here. Good enough. Okay, so that should give us some level of protection. I don't really know how much protection that'll give us, but we'll see. So this is very problematic over here, obviously. We are withdrawing for a reason. And we'll see how much we end up losing over here. Hopefully not too much. Where are these guys going? Oh, they're trying to walk over here. That's really awkward, guys. Can you just walk over here and then take the sea route? That'd be preferential. Excellent. So, I mean, you can see here we are losing some units, and that's not shocking considering our manpower issues. However, we did gain back some manpower there from reworking our air forces, and that's fantastic. We're very, very pleased about that. The United Mexican States are struggling over here, and that's very, very good for us. This up over here is going less well, but once the United Mexican States falls, I think we'll be fine. Okay. So let's take a quick look at what our strategic air map mode looks like now. That's certainly better. That's a lot better. I like it. It's not perfect. There are a few areas, especially over here, where it's going to be a pitched battle, and over here at the front. But overall, That seems to work. We have an unassigned infantry division over here. I'm going to actually assign that infantry division into this army. It's probably not going to be a very effective infantry division, but we'll put it to work. It's like we've gotten pushed back over here. It's not super shocking, and we've lost some troops. That's not super shocking either. The major issue that we've got right now is one of manpower, of course. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll see about actually doing some fighting. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.